Microsoft, Activision, and Call of Duty. Since Microsoft's acquisition of Activision, we've seen a massive shift in how the company operates, and not necessarily in a good way. Layoffs, AI-generated content, and industry strikes all point to a company trying to cut costs at every turn. And while Black Ops 6 is reportedly the most played Call of Duty ever, the Game Pass has reached record numbers. Microsoft still doesn't seem pleased. They want more. And that leads me to a major question. What does this mean for the future of Warzone? Specifically, will Warzone 3 even happen? Because looking at the way things are going, I don't think it will. Let's break it all down. One of the biggest red flags in the mass layoffs that happened after Microsoft took over Activision, Microsoft has already laid off thousands of employees across its gaming division. The biggest one came in January 2024, when they cut around 1,900 employees from Activision, Blizzard, and Xbox. And keep in mind, this was just a few months after they officially completed the $69 billion acquisition. This wasn't a one-time thing either. Microsoft has laid off around 3,500 gaming employees since the acquisition, showing a clear pattern of trying to streamline costs. It's a common trend in tech and gaming industry. Big companies buy up smaller ones, then start slashing jobs to make their financials look better. But this isn't just about numbers. These layoffs impact the games we play. Fewer developers mean less time for polish, fewer innovations, and in the case of Warzone, fewer resources to maintain or develop a brand new version. On top of the layoffs, Microsoft and Activision have also been heavily leaning into AI. And this is where things get even messier. Back in January 2025, after a lot of speculation from the community, Activision had to publicly admit on Steam that they were using AI-generated art in Call of Duty. They didn't do this willingly. Players noticed something was off and started questioning it. Only after enough pressure did Activision finally confirm that yes, AI was being used. This is a huge shift, because Call of Duty has always been known for its high production value. Using AI might be a way to cut costs, but it also raises concerns about quality and originality. But that's not even the biggest issue with AI in gaming right now. That leads us to the SAG-AFTRA strike. For those who don't know, SAG-AFTRA stands for Screen Actors Guild, American Federation of Television and Radio Artists. It's a union that represents thousands of performers, including voice actors in video games, and right now, one of their biggest fights is against AI replacing human actors. In 2024, SAG-AFTRA went on strike because game studios, including Activision, were allegedly trying to use AI-generated voices instead of paying real actors. Think about it. If AI can replace a voice perfectly, why would companies pay actual people? That's the issue here. The union is fighting to make sure actors are fairly compensated and not replaced by AI without their consent. This ties back to Microsoft's overall strategy. The more that they can cut costs, whether through layoffs, AI art, or AI voices, the more profit they can squeeze out. And that brings us to Warzone 3. So how does all of this connect? Well, think about it. Microsoft is aggressively cutting costs and focusing on efficiency. They're already laying off developers and using AI in game production. Creating and maintaining Warzone is extremely expensive and requires a healthy player base. With Infinity Ward's next game set to release in 2026, there's been speculation about a Warzone 3. But given everything we just talked about, it might not make financial sense to create a brand new Battle Royale experience. If Warzone's player base isn't as strong as it needs to be, it could be a smarter move for Activision to just keep improving the current Warzone, rather than launching an entirely new version. Warzone 2 already had major struggles keeping players engaged. A third iteration could be a massive risk, and Microsoft might not be willing to take that chance. Verdansk's return could be a test. If the players' numbers explode and stay high, maybe Warzone 3 happens. But if the numbers dip or don't meet expectations, Microsoft could easily decide that it's not worth the cost to make another one. And I really do think that Infinity Ward's game is gonna take a lot of inspiration from the MW 2019 engine and the engine that was used in Vanguard. And without Warzone 3 being implemented on that engine, it might suck to see, especially if it's a really good Call of Duty that year. So in the end, this is all about Microsoft's cost-cutting strategy. Layoffs have hit the gaming division hard. AI is creeping into game development, replacing artists and possibly voice actors, so this sucks for zombies especially, and campaign. And Warzone 3 would be a massive financial commitment, and if Microsoft doesn't see a strong enough player base, they may not take that risk. The next couple of years will be crucial. If Verdansk returning doesn't bring the numbers they want, don't be surprised if Warzone 3 never happens. What do you guys think? Do you think Microsoft will go ahead with a brand new Warzone, or will they just stick to the current iteration? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.